Welcome to another episode of Ask Cindy Connector Live. Well, happy Aloha Friday. Happy Pay It Forward Friday. This is Cindy Lee, your host over at Ask Cindy Connector Live. If you'd like to comment today, please go to streamyard.com/Facebook so both of the platforms marry and we see your comment. Otherwise, we'll just see Facebook user. So really quickly about the show, I am a podcaster, travel agent, and I'm also a client retention specialist. So I created Ask Cindy Connector Live as a way for me to connect you to others in my sphere of influence. So if you have a small business, please reach out to me. We actually are scheduled out all the way till February. You could just go to askcindiconnectorlive.com. And if you'd like to learn on how to do a video podcast, I'm actually one of the designated speakers for the Leverage Conference, the 18th through the 20th. Simply go to surfcityalohamarketing.com. So a promo for today. If you share this YouTube video, you have to subscribe and comment and then share it to Facebook. I'll gift you a 5-night hotel stay. You do have to pay the taxes. I have the hotel covered. And just let me know where you want to go. You could simply go to 3nightgiveaway.com. And of course, always plug in National Day calendar. Today is Breadstick Day and Oatmeal Day. And actually, starting next month is Aviation History Month. So for the entire month of aviation history on my travel show, Bucket List Coach Web Show, I'm actually going to be interviewing an F-14 pilot, some museums, some really great guests. So stay tuned for that one. That's every Wednesday at 1, 2, and 3 o'clock. And of course, a big plug for the Women's Entrepreneurs Network. I'm a proud sponsor. So today I have the pleasure of introducing you to Michael Silvers. He's the managing partner at the Mentor Studio and vice president at Power Team International. Welcome to the show.
Well, thank you so much. It's great to be on today. And a big shout out to your audience. So fantastic.
Thank you. So tell my audience all about the Mentor Studio.
You know, it's great because it came about from a group of individuals that really wanted to create legacy. At the same time, the ability to bring like-minded individuals that could bring their mentoring, their skills, their who they are out to a larger audience in different countries. And it came about because there was a lot of discussions of how we were going to look at podcasters and really taking podcasters to that next level. And I then reached out to Mary Glorfield. Now, Mary Glorfield was Tony Robbins' vice president for 18 years. Wow. And I always say, because she's still done on the planet what not many have done, which is 82 countries with him and 3 million participants and 4 million miles.
Wow.
And it was really how to create that legacy piece. And the Mentor Studio came about to get mentors from different countries to be able to mentor other business leaders. And that has morphed. That picture has completely morphed.
Now, I want to talk about that. Man, that is the ultimate career bucket list for her, to work for Anthony Robbins. That's amazing.
Yeah, it's been great because we've also been able to obviously hook up with other people within the industry, but we have a tendency of, because we started to produce shows. So we went obviously through the pandemic and we probably did about 300 hours of digital, which is now turned into looking at we're producing the big shows next year. We're producing small shows, and overall there'll be about 300 events. And,
wow.
So it now gives our audience a place to be. And it also gives authors, trainers, speakers, because people always say, how do I fit? How do I mentor? You mentor if you are a little ahead of somebody else and you have something that you want to give back and to be of service. It's the one thing in this whole industry for 22 years that I've done and working with my wife has been to be of service. And we always offered our time. We'd move a chair. There was a great first event with a gentleman named Chris Howard where they said to her, can you jump on a camera? And she did. We did whatever it took, which brought us to this point. And we want to continue that with Mary, that there's going to be this of service piece no matter what we do.
So as a video podcaster, how can I be of service to you at the Mentor Studio?
It's great because, we took a look at all the podcasts out there, and we're always looking for great messages, great information, how people really bring that to their audience. And are they always, it's something we look at, are they always really being of service to their audience, right? Because we know on podcasts, it's not about pitch, 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 pitch. It's about how I can do more. And from a podcasting perspective, for those podcasters out there, we're actually going to put together a group of podcasters, make sure the shows fit, make sure that they follow that same of service attitude. And we've created sort of an automated system. And the great thing about it is, think of your show drops, and then you have 100 other people that literally within maybe an hour have not only commented and said how great the show is and promoted it, right? But they do that for each other.
Wow. Yeah, I want to be a part of that. So are you featuring also video podcasters or only audio podcasters?
No. It's because you have to remember, audio podcasters still always should do video. So everybody out there who's podcasting, because video is still king. You look at IGTV, you look at any of the systems, TikTok, video still. Every time you do a podcast, there should be a video component. Every podcast we do at the Mentor Studio, we do as a Zoom. So we always have the video component whenever we need it. And that's a critical piece. So absolutely both sides.
Yeah. So one of the tips that I want to give today, and then you could tell me some of your tips as a podcaster and as a business professional, I've always been on top of referrals. So after today, I'll give you a referral, give me a referral. But one of the things I want to tell my audience and share with you, when you gather those written testimonies, it's really awesome, but getting the video testimonies are even better. So for me, when I get a video testimony, I put it on TikTok, I repurpose it to Facebook, to LinkedIn, to Twitter. Google My Business is even better because it's going to help with getting yourself to the top of Google. What are some of your tips as a podcaster, what we can do to grow?
The thing that we always say is, number one, joint venture. So there's a tendency of a podcaster, right? I'm doing this all alone. It's me. It's my one. Joint venture with other podcasters, joint venture with other people within the industry, because they're probably looking to be on your show. At the same time, it's okay to say, can I be on your show? So, and also look at those who are working with many podcasters. So you want a joint venture. Number two, we always say, get a coach, because there's that tendency of we want to do this alone, but you'll do more for others than you will for yourself. We always, when I talk about the 3 strategies of success, it's 3 coaches, 2 mentors, and a mastermind.
Wow.
So, and that, because you want a coach who will this is clinical term, kick your behind. You want a coach who understands your business, that can help the direction. You want a coach who that might be your physical side. It might be a personal trainer. It could be a health, whatever that is. 2 mentors. Those are 2 people who are basically where you want to be. It could be 6 months from now, 10 years from now. It could be lifestyle. It could be the program. It could be the show. And then you're part of a conglomerate, a mastermind. You're part of a group of individuals that create something out of nothing. Find 4 people right away that you want to work with and start that. Don't pick the broke brother-in-law. And make sure that they really are on mission to be of service. And we always say, if you don't know what a mastermind is, just read Think and Grow Rich and pick out the chapter on masterminds.
Exactly. So tell my audience what the best referral is for the Mentor Studio.
That's an interesting question, because we have the 2 sides. We have the members who are there to be of service and be part of it, and wanting to be educated and tone their vision and their mission and where they're going and how to really create their business. At the same time, they're part of a community, right? We all want to be part of a community. So a great referral is basically any business out there, any educator, any trainer, speaker, podcaster. We're quite eclectic when it comes to that sort of group. We're not the relationship side, as we say. But we have people within the group who, one of our gentlemen in the group has 18,000 people in this community for relationships on Facebook. So but that's not our bent. Our bent is more focused on mentoring, being of service, and moving business forward, whatever business you're in. But a great referral right now for us is somebody who does want to mentor and be part of the Mentor Studio, because we need to build up that side to be able to handle. We've now become the community for many of the large producers of events in the US, because they don't want to have the community. They put on the big show. That's what they do, but they don't want to be so we've become those communities. And so for our growth, we want to make sure we have enough mentors in place as we continue to grow.
So for your Zoom, so would you interview me on a certain day and another podcaster on a certain day? Is that how it works with the Zoom branding?
Yeah, typically, so we all have Zoom packages that are like, the Business Pro packages. So we're fairly unlimited to what we can do. And we always have deals for people, right, to get into that. And so what we do is those will be done live to our community, but they're not a live broadcast because we keep that within the community, and then that goes up as the podcast show. But the great thing about that is, number one, we can always repurpose, right? Because we
Mm-hmm.
have the video. We had a great show. I did a great show. I can't remember when it was. It was, I think, April or May, and we had Joseph McClendon. Well, a lot of people know Joseph who have ever seen Tony Robbins because he's been on stage with Tony for 25 years. And Joseph
Wow.
said, I've got, Mary got him on, and he says, I've got 30 minutes, 35. I said, that's great. We'll do a great show. And then for the paid community of the Mentor Studio, we'll open it up to Q&A. He stayed on for 90 minutes. He
Wow.
literally was ready to keep, and he's like, I'll just come back. Don't worry about it. I'll be back. And then we did one in August. We've had it with Keith Cunningham, and it was sort of the same. Keith runs Tony's Business Mastery, and Keith and Mary like best friends. But so Keith's like, anytime your community needs any, I'll even just be part of your community. So we have a lot of this going on right now of people who are willing to serve, and they're just yeah, I said half an hour, but I'm like, you can keep going. The community is very happy at the moment. And that's really great, is that community feel, to be of service, to really be there for each other.
Exactly. Well, let me talk about fear right now. So I don't know if you've seen some of my story, but I actually learned from one of my parents to be afraid of the water. So I've overcome some of that by getting in the pool. I'm now going to be getting a swimming lesson here in the coming months. I've been on 2 surf lessons. I could barely swim. I mean, the pool's no problem, but the ocean just makes me really nervous. So I've surfed twice. I actually just booked my 3rd lesson, just trying to pick a date right now for next year. But the reason I bring that up is because when you overcome one fear, so me slowly overcoming the fear of surfing is so powerful, because that's helped me overcome speaking fears, video fears, stuff in personal relationships, maybe some sales strategies in my business. So tell me, like, how you overcome a fear that actually helped you to where you're at today.
It's a good question. It is those, for me, it's the fear of the stage, right? It
Oh
was
yeah.
really one of those. I was in Singapore in 2000, and I'm trying to do the date in my head, right? 2010. And it was a morning session. We were doing the Millionaire Mind Intensive because I was director of coaching for Harv Eker for 8 years.
Oh, I love
And
it.
he needed to get on a call. The assistant trainer needed to be on a call, and they needed somebody to do the morning session. And I had never done that. I mean, I'd spoken in front of small groups, and there were 4,000 people out there. And he told me the night before at midnight, right? So I could have had a choice to stay up all night. And I stayed up a little bit to really think of what I was going to do. At the same time, I think what really flipped is when and those stages are big. Those stages are 50-foot high. You got to walk up the 100 steps. But I think when I got towards the top of the step, it was realizing this is not about me. This is about the audience. And I think that shift to really be of service to them out there flipped the switch from the terror as I was walking up the stage to stepping into my power, which my wife and I learned greatly from Chris Howard, doing a lot of NLP, which was very important
Oh,
to
very
being
cool.
of service to the audience. And then I just let it go. And Harv said, don't sell anything. You're not up there to sell. You're up there just to do a content piece. And there was a capture of the audience so well, people ran to the back table to buy. And I thought that was really interesting to watch that happen. But it was when I moved from it was all about me to all about the audience, changed everything.
Exactly. So now is the call to action. So what is your call to action for today?
For those of you out there, there's 2 things. For you, I want you to go ahead and take a step forward today. Do something for somebody else that you would have not done today. And it could be today, it could be tomorrow, whatever that is, but really do something for somebody else. Number 2, take a look at your business and what are 10 things that you're going to do before 10 a.m. Look at 10 things, what you're going to do before 10 a.m. And do that every day for the next week and see how that changes your business. And come join us at the Mentor Studio. You can always join. We always have a complimentary side. We always will. And I posted the link actually in the private chat, Cindy, so you could always pop that up. But it's just be part of a group that's growing, be part of a group that's around the world making a difference. And let's bring mentoring out to the world and just have a good time to do it together.
Okay, let me post this. Okay, shout outs. Who you want to shout out today?
I want to say thank you to everybody actually who's brought us to where we are today. And I will always say shout out to my wife, because without her, this would not have happened together. There's great stories about Australia and her being there. We'll talk about another time when we have more time. And I want to be a shout out to one of my mentors, Bill Walsh at Power Team. Harv Ecker, who taught me so much working with him, and Mary Glorfield, who just nailed it for me and with her experiences. And I mean, her putting Tony on the Great Wall of China never happened again. He taught, they shut it down. There's just those things you learn that you can do anything and you can keep moving forward if you surround yourself with the right people, like-minded, and keep going forward. The road is not straight. It goes up, down, right, and left.
Well, awesome. So this is the really fun part about my show. So what I like to do at the end of the show, I'll introduce myself as the founder of Ask Cindy Connector. It'll be less than 45 seconds, because what I like to do is I like to repurpose that. So after this show today, I'm going to edit it to the 45 seconds, and then I'm going to put it on TikTok, Facebook, Google My Business, like all my networks.
Yep.
Okay, about to start. So you ready?
Yep.
Well, hello. This is Cindy at Ask Cindy Connector Live here on TikTok. I have my friend Michael Silvers with the Mentor Studio. Take it away, 45 seconds.
Fantastic. I just wanted to welcome you all here today. This is about education, knowledge, and mentoring others. My business partner, Mary Glorfield, was Tony Robbins' vice president for 18 years. Come and join us and play with us every week at the Mentor Studio. The Mentors, it's mentor with an S, studio.com. You can join. It's complimentary. Be on a call with us every week. We do networking and masterminding around the world and play with a team that is growing, moving forward, and has about 300 live events a year with 300 hours of digital. We'll just all have a good time. How's that?
Awesome. So I'm going to close out. I'm going to put you in a green room, but one last tip. Maybe you want to mention something about Tony Robbins or something about the Mentor Studio.
Yeah. The one last tip is just to make sure that you do something today for somebody else, and that we'd love to have you at the Mentor Studio. We'd love to see you there, and we'll help educate, teach, and train.
Awesome. And your website again.
It's just go to the Mentors, that's mentor with an S, mentorstudio.com. That's TheMentorsStudio.com.
Well, awesome. I'm going to put you in a green room. I think there might be some charcuterie in there, maybe a glass of wine for you. And so I'm going to close out for about a minute, and then we'll chat for a few. Okay.
All right. Thank you.
All right. Thank you. Well, there you go, guys. Make sure to connect with Michael Silvers. Simply go to Facebook, or you could actually go here in the chat. You could actually see all the information here, either on Facebook or YouTube. And like I always mention, every single day and every single Friday, find 5 people to call just as a gratitude call. You could call another time for sales, but just call them for 1 minute and let them know that they are appreciated, because we have the day that we're born and the day that we pass away. You're going to make the most of that dash. And then next on the show, I have Robert Butwin. We're actually talking about giving referrals and becoming referral partners and some great networking tips. So this is Cindy over at Ask Cindy Connector Live. Shaka, and add aloha to others.